Hello everyone, welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy. So this will be our first lecture in the series of discussions from the questions of UPSC Mains 2024, and we are starting from GS paper 1. So we shall be discussing the first question of GS paper 1 today. Okay, so first let us discuss why this question was asked. Has UPSC asked something which it has not asked before, means whether it is completely from a new topic or whether this theme was earlier asked. So this type of question was already asked, already asked in UPSC 2023. So what happened? No, see, so in UPSC 2023, the question was on the Vedic society and religion. It was on the Vedic society and religion. So it was in 2023, and this time UPSC has asked question on the society and economy from Vedic times. See, the theme is same. The question can change, the theme was same. The theme was on the Vedic period. So we can say that UPSC has not asked something very different which was not earlier asked, but it has repeated the theme which was asked in the previous year only. Okay, so I think it was very obvious, it was very predictable that UPSC can ask something from the Vedic period this time also. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So first of all, our approach will be, we will completely read the question, we will understand what the question is trying to ask, what the question is saying, and then we will discuss a complete structure. We won't be discussing the answer in detail, that what should we write in the body, what all points should we discuss. First of all, we will discuss a complete structure, means what all elements your answer must have. Okay, you just can't write the story in the answer. You must have the idea that what all the elements your answer must have. Then we can discuss in short that what else you should have written in the body. Okay, so our first motive will be to understand the question and then to discuss the structure. Okay, so see what the question says: underline the changes in the field of society and economy from the Rig Vedic to the later Vedic period. Basically, the question is trying to ask the transition, that how the society and how the transition happened for society and economy from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period. Okay, so this is the question asking. Now we will discuss what should be the structure of your answer and what the elements must be there in your answer. So see, we have already discussed that this should be a general structure of your answer: introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay, now as we have discussed earlier also, if you are writing anything from the history, either it is ancient history, medieval history, or for that matter modern history also, you must try to think about a possible map, whether you can add a map in that question or not, because it will improve your presentation. So let's say I am writing here map also. Apart from introduction, body, conclusion, I will be adding a map. Let's see how we will add this map. I will be adding a map here. Okay, so now our answer have 4 components. Okay, our answer has 4 components, and you must think it before writing the answer, that since the transition is asked. See, if you have read the general textbook, you must knowing the transition, that what was the position of the woman, what was the system of education, how the caste system changed, this and this. So generally the aspirants must be knowing all these general points, but your answer will change dynamically if you substantiate those points. So you must know it beforehand, that what all examples or data you must be writing in your answer. So basically now your answer must have 5 components, because I have already decided that I will use these 5 components in my answer. Okay, so introduction, body, conclusion, a map if it is possible, and possible example data or any scripture, any literature which I can quote. Okay, so these will be the 5 points. Okay, now let's discuss one by one each and every component. So see, in introduction, we have discussed this before also, that you don't need to remember each and everything for the introduction. Just the things you already read for the prelims, you can write those. So generally now for questions of history, generally you can start with the timeline, that if the question is asking about Rig Vedic and later Vedic period, so here you can just mention the timeline. You can just mention the timeline. Just mention the timeline. Because see, for a 10 marker, you don't need to write a very long intro. No, you can write intro in 2 or 3 lines only. So I think this is sufficient for the intro. Okay, now let's start our body. Let's start our body. So see, our question is asking about the transition, how the transition happened, right? So see, you must know this thing, that if the question is asking to compare or contrast or to differentiate between two things, or you have to write about the transition, how the particular thing evolved from one time period to other. So writing the answer in a table form is a very good way, because here now the examiner can easily identify that what all important points you are writing. Okay, so I will be writing this answer in a tabular form. So here I will be writing all the features based on which I will be writing the transition. Here I will mention the Rig Vedic period, here I will mention the later Vedic period. And see, here beforehand we have decided that I will be writing something extra. First I will be writing the transition, it happened from this way to this way, and I will substantiate that it was written where or who told this. Okay, so since I have decided beforehand, so I will be writing example or any remarks here. So basically, now I will discuss whole my answer in this table. So see, representation is very good, right? Now you have to discuss two things, you have to discuss about the society and economy. You have to discuss about the society and economy. Now, see, in society, generally people will discuss 4 or 5 points. It's very easy. Either you are discussing for the Vedic period, or for that matter, if you are discussing for Gupta period or any empire. So society will contain 4 or 5 points, right? What the society will contain? It will contain about the family structure. It will contain the information about the social structure, that is the caste system, the position of women. Okay, they can discuss about the education system, or for that matter they can discuss a very basic thing like clothing also. Okay, they can discuss about the religion also. So you can add all the basic points also. So I think these were the main points which could be discussed in the society. So you can discuss these points here. You can, first of all, you can write, we are writing about the social structure, then write each and every point here. Discuss the transition, how it happened from year to year, and discuss the examples. Okay, for the same thing you can do for economy also. So see, what all we can write about the economy. In economy you can write the main occupation of the people. Okay, you can write about the trade and commerce. See, these are very general points, these are very common points. For any dynasty, for any empire, you can discuss these points, see, main headings will be same, the examples or points will be different. Now, you discussed about the occupation, trade and commerce, you can discuss about the land rights also. And you have, if you have anything extra, then it's okay, otherwise discuss on these 3-4 points. Okay, so let's discuss in brief how the transition happened. So see, if we talk about the family structure, so in Rig Vedic period, the basically the patriarchal system was there, but it was not very rigid, and there was some evidences of joint family structure also. Okay, so here you can say that how the evolution happened, because here the patriarchy became very strong. Okay, now you wrote this transition. Now if you have any example or any specific word, like you can mention about Grihapati. You might have learned about this term, about the mention of Grihapati, that there is a mention of Grihapati and it was more prevalent in the later Vedic period. Okay, so you mentioned something extra. Now, if we discuss about the social structure or caste system, so as you know, there was mention of Varna system, but it was flexible here, but it became very rigid in the later Vedic period. Okay, so here, if possible, give example of any text like if you give example of Manusmriti, that there was mention of very rigid caste system in Manusmriti. Okay, now if we talk about the position of women, so see, women were given many rights and women were allowed to attend various functions also, but here the position of women degraded. Okay, so here if you have any example, you can write any of the ceremony, like you can write about the Ashwamedha Yagya, like these all rituals were not attended by the women. Okay. If we talk about the education, so here education was accessible to all the categories, to all the caste of the region, but here the education was mainly accessible to the upper caste. You can discuss these points, and if you have any extra thing, you can write here. If you so see, it's not possible you would be having the extra points for all the points, but if you have 3 or 4 them, it will add value to your answer. Okay, so if we talk about the religion, so here basically that people were the worshipper of nature, like Agni, Lord Indra. So they used to worship here, but here the Brahmanical rituals, they became predominant here. Okay, they became predominant. Now see, if we talk about clothing, so there was a change in clothing also. Means the clothing changed from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period. So this is an assignment for you, that please search how the clothing changed from Rig Vedic to later Vedic period, and please try to mention it in the comment box. We will discuss when we will discuss the next question from GS paper 1, then we will discuss how it, because generally you won't be getting this in the standard books. If you have a basic idea, it would be very good. So I think we discussed about the society. Now let's come up with the economy. So see, if we talk about the occupation, so see how occupation changed. You know that mainly there were a pastoral community in Rig Vedic period, and here agriculture was predominant. Agriculture was predominant. If you have anything extra, like you would know about, there is a mention in Satpat Brahman, there is mention of agricultural rituals. So you can mention if you have any idea. Okay, now if we talk about trade and commerce, so basically barter system was prevalent here. Barter system was prevalent here, and here a proper trade started. And if you want to write any extra point, so you can mention about Shrenis. You learned about Shrenis or guilds, which we call. So if these Shrenis and guilds are present, a proper trade have to be present there. Okay, and you might have learned about the term Nishk also. So Nishk is a type of currency only. If there is a proper currency, then a proper trade would flourish. So we talked about trade and commerce. Now if we talk about land rights, so here if we talk about Rig Vedic period, if we talk about there was very less prevalence of private property. Why less prevalence? Because it was mainly pastoral community. But here there was mention of the land grants to Brahmins. Which is called Brahmadeya. So here the concept of private property came. Okay, and I talked about extra, because any dynasty or any empire would have something extra from the other. So you can discuss about the metal use. Here you can discuss about the bronze and copper. Here you can discuss about the prevalence of iron. So because of iron, what happened? The agriculture flourished. Because of the iron tool, the agriculture productivity increased. Okay, so I think we have discussed these points in detail. Now, see, we did our introduction, we did our body. Now let's come, we did the examples and data if you have any. Now let's come to our 4th point. See, 4th point, we have to add a map. So what you can do, you don't have to make a very complicated map. What you can do, you can in column only you can make very simple map. And here you can mention these were the areas under Rig Vedic period and these were the areas in the later Vedic period. Okay, and you have mentioned various things. Here you mentioned that they were pastoral community. Here you mentioned they were agricultural community. So instead of writing those points, you can simply make the map, and here you can write the transition. Here it was pastoral and it led to agriculture community. Anything you can do, use your creativity. Just I am telling, try to incorporate map if it's possible. It improves the presentation. And if you know the important places also, important places in those times, you can mention. Very good. Okay, so I think we are done with this map also. Now we have to write the conclusion. So see, in conclusion, no, it's very easy to write conclusion in ancient history, because in conclusion, no, generally you have to relate things in those times with the present context. So here you can easily write, no, that how things in those times are still present in this context. So you can write about the caste system, that caste system is still present. You can write about the patriarchy, that patriarchy is still present. You can write about the status of women at present. So in this way you can conclude the answer, I think. So in this way we wrote all the 5 elements of the answer. Okay, now let's discuss one of the important learning from this question, one of the important learning. What the learning is that whenever in ancient history, medieval history or modern history, you read about any topic, so you should read under the following heads. You should read about the society, about the economy, about the polity, about the religion, or anything extra if there is. So in this way, you will understand also that about the topic, and it will be easy to write in the answers also. Because see, if you would have prepared the answer for the previous year question, you would have already prepared about the society and religion. Okay, and if you are preparing on these lines, so you can easily write these kind of answers, because these answers are very easy. You can easily gain marks, right? Okay, so I think this was our first question, and the second question will be on the art and literature of Pallavas of Kachi. So we will be discussing it in our next lecture. So that's all from my side, and thank you.